So, I would reckon that it's 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. And it is... Wow, would you look at this? What is that? What in the world could that be? Is that in Iran? I don't know. We're looking at the desktop of this computer that has carved out palace castle thing out of the side of the mountain thing. It looks a little precarious. But it is what I would call Monday, the 9th of March, AD 2026. And it's 9:01 now here in Los Angeles. And you can call in. You're welcome to Super Chat. Some of you are already on hold. I appreciate that. I will, as you know, I tend to get to you guys pretty quickly lately. And you can Super Chat on YouTube or on Rumble or wherever. Buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. Even when I'm off air, Michael from Canada will often go to buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report and submit a little chat thing for Hake to read on air next time I'm on air. And appreciate that, Michael. And sometimes I do miss your Rumble rants, y'all. It's terrible. I try not to. I'm maybe getting better, arguably, maybe. I don't know. And anyway, it's a loosey-goosey show. There's lots going on, I guess. And take everything that you hear, think, see, interpret from Hake with a grain of salt, okay? Info may be false, all right? No endorsement implied. I do not represent Bond or JLP or the Anchor Baby or Derek or Kurt or Doug or anybody. The Fallen State, Punchy TV. I don't even represent myself, honestly. But let's have a little conversation, shall we? Anyway, y'all, I think I'm pretty well set to get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
What in the world? So, what did I do? How y'all doing? I'm fine. I am wearing a shirt that has teeth on it. And on the back it has like shark's teeth and alligator's teeth. Very nice. Find it yourself, because I won't tell you where I got it. Okay? Because it doesn't really it's, you know, it's not a Hake or a JLP stuff, and I don't promote anything else. Okay? Not on purpose, anyway. I disclaim. Anyway, I want to get to your calls here. I'm live on YouTube, Facebook, X, Punchy.tv, what's up, Jim in Alaska, and other platforms. Rumble, of course. And Anchor Baby is already scheduled and set to go live, so do catch him. He'll be on Punchy.tv as well as Rumble and YouTube. And the redirect is set, so once I end, it'll shift you on over there. Nice. Whoa. So let me mosey on over to these calls here, shall we? Oh, look, there I am. I want to get to Hayden in Texas, who's on the line here. Hayden, thank you for calling, sir. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, Hake?
Going well, thank you.
Good. Happy Monday.
Indeed.
So I really don't have a lot today. I just had a question about a comment that one of your callers made. I think it was Friday or Thursday. I forget which day it was, but I think his name was like Jorge or something. I don't remember his name exactly, but he said that since I live in Texas, I live on Mexico's property. Do you remember that call?
Oh yeah. It wasn't. I forget what his name was too, offhand. I was gonna guess Ramon, but I don't think it was Ramon. But I don't think it was Jorge. It might have been Hector.
Yeah, that's Hector. That's what it was.
Yeah, and so he said that you and Mark are living in Aztlán, living in Texas and California. Aztlán, which I haven't really looked into Aztlán yet. I mean, I have,
Yeah,
but that's it's the mythical paradisiacal northern homeland of Aztec, Mexico people, from which they migrated to the Valley of Mexico to establish their empire. Often translated as place of whiteness or place of herons, birds, I guess. Frequently depicted as an island in a lake. The precise location remains unknown.
Okay, so is he aware that California and Texas belong to the U.S.? Or is that just absent from his logic?
Who knows? I felt like he was trolling. I felt like he doesn't actually believe anything, but that he was just making claims. But yeah, it's a commonly. I feel like it's related to the Aztecs. Yeah, Aztecs. Yes, indeed. I just read that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just Mexicans being all into their Mexicanity, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if he was one of those people who spreads the misinformation that America's stolen land, which would make him and his people look weak.
Right.
If he does push that narrative.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to know the context behind that, whether he was joking or not.
Wow.
I couldn't really tell.
I'm looking at this picture on Google Images, and they're claiming that Aztlán, AZZ for the Canadians, T is in Tom, L, A with an accent over it, rising accent, N, envelops all of Texas, all of New Mexico, all of Arizona and Utah and Nevada and California, and even parts of Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Wyoming. And they claim that that's theirs in their imaginations. And it's a mythical place. I don't know if it ever actually even existed. It's just legend.
Well, I mean, back when it probably was their property back in the day.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was like several hundred years ago.
And that guy probably speaks Spanish if his name is Hector, which would indicate that that means that he's probably part Spanish, or he's been double what is that thing called when we settle on land and take it over?
Conquered.
Conquered or colonized. He's been doubly colonized because he's speaking Spanish and English. The Spanish people and the English people dominated his nativeness. Shout out.
He just can't get a break, can he?
Yeah. It's all mess. Yeah, I mean, it's all ego, honestly.
Yeah, no. He sounded hurt when he said it. Oh, yeah. You're on our land. You're on. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, we are not. This is conquered land. We earned it. This is our country. We're the majority. He can cry about it all he wants to, but it's gonna stay that way.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, that's my only question. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Right on, sir. Good to hear from you.
All right, thank you so much, Hake.
All right, bye.
All right.
And David, out of Ocala, Florida, is on the line here. David, thank you for calling, sir. What's up?
Hey, how you handling the time change?
Okay, so far. I woke up naturally, as I've been able to do, with no alarm, right around 4 a.m. So I think I'm doing okay. 4 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
You wake up without an alarm?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Kramer on Seinfeld. You got an eternal clock, huh?
Yeah, you got a body clock.
Right, that's what he said, but he didn't wake up, and the runner missed the race.
That's funny.
Anyhow, yeah, it was a funny show. I called because I guess you got it right there. I cannot believe that well, I guess I can believe it, that Mark denies the Holocaust.
Yeah. You know, I think that people have this, it's human nature, I think, to have a belief that you want to be true or that's convenient, and you just go with it without really knowing. Now, I know that Mark knows a lot of history, and he knows a lot of stuff probably about the Holocaust that you and I don't know. And I've heard that, you know, there were exaggerations and tall tales about the horrors that happened. Like, it was supposedly widespread. At one person claimed that there was like lampshades made from skin, and there were little nominal instances of that, but it wasn't like a widespread thing. And they, just like January 6th, how they exaggerate about that and lie about that, and the 2017 Charlottesville riot in which Antifa and Black Lives Matter attacked the whites, the so-called alt-right. There's lies about that. So I understand that you can't really believe history exactly as it's written, because the fake news will lie about present day stuff right in front of our faces. So I understand that not everything is true, but you're not supposed to go the opposite extreme and just assume stuff. And people will turn into flat earthers without any evidence, and people will people will turn into space deniers. People will turn into Epstein. They will make claims about Epstein that they have no proof of or no evidence of, but they just hear it and repeat it. Now, Mark probably isn't just hearing and repeating, but he does seem to be on a side. And when you're on a side, you tend to believe something that isn't true.
Well, yeah, because he really dislikes the Jews because he's so convinced that they, killed Christ, and I think that's maybe why. I don't know, for sure. But if you're going to be on a denying scale, I mean, deny the moon landing, okay? Because that really, that is more up there than the Holocaust. I mean, I'm sure when those soldiers came, finally made their way in, to Germany and saw that stuff, they were horrified at what they saw. Those the Jews, how malnutrition they were, and on the brink of death and stuff. I mean, there's footage of that, okay? And whether they did it to 6 million or 500,000, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, now does it? I
disclaim. You have to say it's 6 million or else. No, I'm half kidding. I'm trolling, but that's one of the sticking points on both sides. That it's exaggerated, and then there's the argument over the reason that they were nourished and emaciated. Because I remember seeing the emaciated. I learned the word emaciated from reading my textbook. My history textbook in high school, of a skinny guy who was once 200 pounds, and then he's skinny, according to them. They claim that he was once 200 pounds, and he was skinny because they could hardly eat. Yeah. I'm on the side of something happened, I don't know what, but I don't put anything past evil human beings, which everybody is, to do really evil, dark things. So
yeah, that's super dark, bro. I mean, they were messing around with black magic, all kinds of stuff. Them Germans, man, they were trying to tap into all kinds of stuff, supposedly, but and then Hitler was cranked up on speed, man. I mean, there's they got footage of him just tweaking out at a event one time. So he was and some other drug he liked. They gave him this drug. So and so start calling me a drug addict, because I'm bringing up drugs, man. Come on. Anyhow, I'm not a drug addict. Okay, how's that? I don't consider myself one. How's that? Okay, but Hitler was hitting the speed pretty heavy duty, they said. So
that was before they knew it was bad. Is that right or no? Was it in the early days of methamphetamines?
Yeah, because they used to give it to women too. The doctor would prescribe it to housewives and stuff, so
Wow.
they could, get jolted up, and clean the house, and how, I never liked that. Anyway, I wanted to say, yeah, man, if you're going to deny something, deny the moon landing, because we've never went back, or 9/11, the 9/11 narrative, because none of that makes sense either. But I tend to believe the Holocaust happened. Now, I don't know if it was 6 million Jews or not, but I do know that Hitler wanted to wipe those people out. Okay?
Anchor Baby mentioned to me this old clip from maybe 10 years ago or so, where Bibi Netanyahu said that originally he didn't want to do them in. He just wanted to move them all out of Germany, which I think is the historical record. And then he made a claim, though, that the historians or propagandists, same thing, disputed, was that some Muslim guy convinced Hitler to do the killing thing, the mass murder, the genocide. I'm laughing because Bibi said it, and they got mad at Bibi for going against the narrative that, no, he wasn't influenced by Muslims, it was just his whiteness type stuff. So I don't know. What a mess, huh? They can't just... Well, they have to colorize the evil to call it white evil.
They stole their stuff, man. I mean, the Jews had a lot of, they've always been rich, okay? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of them.
They're all doctors, lawyers, they or they own a pharmacy or a business or whatever, and they've always, been successful because they're greedy. You know what I'm saying? They're greedy people.
Right.
They always have been, and they're real frugal.
Yeah.
So they got, and hey, that's just part of their repertoire, I guess. It's like well, I'm not going to go there. I was going to say something really bad. Anyway, so they stole their artwork, their gold, their freaking dishes, silverware, all that stuff, man. And they, according in Schindler's List, they stole their teeth and their hair, and they stole their teeth and all kinds of stuff, man. And but I'm pretty sure it happened. Okay, and I got to tell you, man, I was laughing all weekend about that. It would come to my mind about him denying the Holocaust, and I would just start laughing, man. That's so out there. You get what I'm saying? Hey,
that's funny that it's a new thing to you, because I've been hearing this denial of it, and I'm using the word denial not dismissively. This questioning and this denial for several years now, because I'm in the media, so I hear from people a lot and read comments and stuff like that. So I've been hearing this for a long time. So that's amusing that you're coming across it now, at least that you can recall for like basically the first time, especially regarding someone whom you respect in general, Mark, whom you and I both actually really respect. So nice. That's funny.
Well, no, I've heard about it for years.
Of course.
The reason why I'm laughing about it so hard is because it's coming from somebody that thinks he knows everything almost. I mean, the guy, I'll admit when I'm wrong about something. You get what I'm saying? But he's just straight up like I hate to say it, sort of like a Mr. Know-it-all. Okay, you get what I mean? I mean, so that's why I'm laughing about it, because he thinks he's smart, but he's sort of that's a foolish statement in my book. Okay, you got where I'm coming from now. It's
I
not
do.
that I just heard. It's not that I just heard. So somebody that puts himself up on this high pedestal about knowing about all this stuff and rah 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 rah, and then spits out something like that. It just made me want to laugh, man. I'm like thinking, dang, man, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
You know, but it's really human nature, man, because everybody thinks they know what they think, and they think what they think is right. And so they're just people really believe all kinds of crazy things that turn out not to be so far from the truth, and yet they believe in the truth, and they consider themselves truth seekers. And it's and honestly, it's more typical of whites to care more about the facts than it is about any other race, seemingly. It feels like the whites, at least in my experience, and just knowing how I like to have things, is, you know, crime stats. Whites don't like to make up fake crime stats about like blacks or whatever. They like to get it right. And I think that's a white thing, maybe partly a Jewish thing. They like to be factual, even if they misinterpret the facts to misdirect you away from the truth. But it just shows you that everybody is subject to believing lies, because it is anyway, yeah, that.
Well, the whites want to get the facts straight about the blacks because we're sick and tired of them killing us, okay? I mean, this black guy down in Lakeland, Florida, just shot this white dude in a pool hall the other day, just killed him right there in the pool hall, okay? That's why these whites want the statistics right, because they know it's out of whack, okay? You can't, the murder rate is so high from the blacks percentage-wise, and we know that, you know, and they're just sick of being lied to. Whites are sick of being lied to about the blacks, you know?
Yeah, right.
You know, and then I will tell you this. I have figured this out from watching your show and listening to some other stuff. If it wasn't for white men, okay, building this country, and white men fixing everything, women, if all the men in the world, if all the white men in the world disappeared, okay, the world would crumble within probably, who knows, 30 days maybe.
Yeah, that's a point. That's a point that Gregatron said too. Totally.
Yeah, so these women livers, you know, they don't need a man and all that stuff. Well, who's going to come fix that power pole for you, lady?
Yeah.
Who's going to come fix your well if you got a well? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to do all this stuff? And anyway, so I've definitely got the revelation that, you know, white men, or men, but mainly white men, are very important for our survival.
Yeah, totally, sir.
Hey,
Mark is on the line here.
Oh, my God.
Yes or no? Do you want to talk with him, or shall I just talk with him next?
You can talk with him next, man, because I think he's just going to go off, you know. I understand, you know.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just needed a yes or no. No problem.
Yeah, hold on. I mean, I'll think about it a little bit. You know, Nick, if he got so out of control, I didn't listen to the thing on Nick's show, but if he got that out of control to where Nick had to hang up on him, that's pretty bad, dude. That's when you need to go.
That happens in the heat of the moment. It's no judgment.
It shouldn't get that way, buddy.
It shouldn't, but it's what happens between people sometimes. It's not a big deal. I don't think
you're the one preaching to everybody to control their emotions and their freaking all that kind of stuff. So why are you backtracking on that now?
I'm not backtracking. I'm just moving forward and not holding it against people.
You are a very forgiving person.
That's kind of you to say.
You are a very forgiving person, because I'm surprised it took that long. Okay, okay. I do want to talk to him about one thing, so go ahead. You can put him on the line. Just, you know, I just don't want this to get out of control. We had a great conversation the last time.
That's partly why I brought it up, because last time it was actually quite amicable. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Mark and Law's Angeles. Mark in Los Angeles, you are on with David in Ocala, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to be calm. No reason to be afraid. I just want to tell David the only reason this fake Holocaust is getting so much play is because the Jews need it to support Israel. The guilt trip, the way the black people use slavery, is the way the Christ-killing Jews used the Holocaust. And furthermore, before you answer that, David, which you don't have an answer for, but when you attempt to answer that, I got another question on another issue. If the gummies you take aren't that bad, try stopping it for a month. Just go cold turkey for 1 month. If we could trust you to do that, call Hake back and tell us how you feel. Those are my 2 comments. Now it's your turn.
Okay, I can stop the gummies. You're making way too big a deal out of that, Mark. Okay,
Okay,
but anyway.
do it for a month and get back to us. Okay.
Okay, I'll do it I'll do it whenever I want to do it. Okay, but the bottom line is it calms me down. I don't get all amped up like you to where I start yelling at people no more.
I'm not on drugs. I'm not on drugs. I don't have a monkey on my back.
I don't have no monkey on my back, dude.
Yeah,
if I was
try
shooting
stopping
heroin
for
or
a
doing
month.
crank or something like that,
No,
crystal
try
meth or
stopping
snorting
pot.
coke, that'd be,
Okay.
that's anyway.
Point made.
I understand what you mean.
Try stopping it for 1 month. You won't be able to do it. If you're honest, you'll admit it.
Okay, all right. The Jew thing, I do understand where you're coming from with the Jews, okay, except for they did not kill Christ. He went to the cross on his own. But it is sort of coming out now how they've been manipulating people for a long time. I don't agree with everything the Jews say. And I'm not like pro. The only reason why I'm pro Jewish or Israel is because Jesus was Jewish, okay? And those not the people that are running the government, okay, but the people there in Israel are God's chosen people, okay? And that's why. Well, the Bible says they are. So take it up
let
with
them
God,
take the
man.
DNA test and see if their bloodline goes to Abraham. Every Israeli citizen should take a DNA test to see if their bloodline goes to Abraham. The state of Israel was founded in 1948 by Ben Gurion, who was an atheist. He was not a religious Jew. He was an atheist. Several of the presidents of Israel have been atheists, non-religious Jews. That's the type of people Rockwell talked about that were the true enemies of Jesus and the white race.
Mark, I have a question from chat, and it's a valid question in my opinion. Kevin says it doesn't make sense. Mark says they're not real Jews, but also blames Jews for killing Jesus. Which one is it?
The secular Jews. The ones who don't, the atheist Jews, the secular Jews, like the ones in the Communist Party, the ones who originated the civil rights movement.
Are those the same? Are those the same bloodline that did in Jesus that were supporting the crucifixion?
Yes.
So they are the real ones.
The ones who killed Jesus were the same ones who don't believe in God, who believe in race mixing and communism.
Right, and so they are the real Jews by blood from Jesus' times?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
So you're judging them based on their spirit. They have an anti-Christ spirit, anti-Christian spirit.
Absolutely, and it's through today, to this very day. And to David, you're talking about the blacks getting out of hand. Well, who do you think gave them the power to do that? It was Jewish lawyers and Jewish money that integrated the schools and integrated our society. How can you not see that? They're not your friends. The Jews are not friends to the white man. There may be exceptions like ZENNY, if you're listening, ZENNY. There are a few exceptions, but even Lincoln Rockwell had Jews in his movement. So it's not unheard of for righteous Jews to step forward and say, yes, we killed the Lord, we killed Jesus, and we're sorry for it. Some of them have admitted that. But then you got goyim like David who don't care. They're just going to say it because they think it's right. And they're going to support the racist anti-Christian state of Israel.
Dude,
Anything to say?
Jesus' death was prophesied in the Old Testament, man.
Well, okay, so
it's in Isaiah 53. So Jesus, it says he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities, and by his stripes we are healed. He was led to the slaughter, like a lamb led to slaughter, okay? So it was all prophesied before. Nobody was going to stop it, man. Nobody was going to stop Jesus getting hung on the cross and dying.
Who were the Pharisees? Who were the Pharisees and the scribes?
I believe there was some kind of Jewish sect or whatever.
They were the ones that ordered Jesus' death. Okay, you're the Bible man. You should know this stuff. They were the ones that had the Romans under Pontius Pilate crucify Jesus. Pontius Pilate didn't want to do it. After, at the beginning of the crucifixion, Pontius Pilate said, I wash my hands of this. And he washed his hands of it. And to this day, Roman soldiers are blamed for the crucifixion. They may have physically carried it out, but it was under the rule of the Jews, just like the race mixing today. The blacks are the shock troops of the Jews, and they're using them to destroy America. And it's all written. This is not by accident. This has been a plan, a conspiracy for at least the last 100 years. Israel wasn't even created as a state until 1948. Before that, it was Palestine. So,
I have a question. It's good and fine to recognize the evil spirit of people, but should we hold it against people when Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do"?
Sure, I've heard that before. What they need to do is come to Christ.
No, but what should we do? Not what do they need to do. What should we do? Should we hold it against them, or should we just recognize it and act accordingly?
Recognize it and act accordingly. I think as long as you in your own soul accept Jesus, you're going to be okay. What happens to the Jews is on them.
Right.
If they want to accept Jesus, fine. And there are Jews for Jesus, and I have no problem with them. You need to watch that Rockwell interview again to understand what's going on and on the Jew issue. And the other thing is, and I'll make it quick, if you look at an almanac that tells you how many, all kinds of information, and look at the number of Jews before World War II, and then look at the number of Jews in 1946 after the war. Tell me if you see 6 million are missing. That's for you, David. That's your homework. And then you can call back and apologize.
Listen,
when you find out the hoax.
How about I ask you this, because I want you to look at the grand scheme of things, the big picture, Mark. Where would we be if Jesus didn't die on the cross? Where would you be, okay?
I don't know.
After you died, you definitely wouldn't obtain eternal life. Nobody would, okay? That's why he came, hung on the cross, so we could inherit eternal life and spend eternity with him. So, nobody was going to stop him getting hung on the cross, dude. I told you it was prophesied back in Isaiah in the Old Testament, okay, and other places. So, I just wish you could understand that Jesus laid his life down for us, that no Romans, no Jews hung him on the cross, okay?
But they did. No, they did. He was hung on the cross by men.
Oh, I know he was hung on the cross, but he let them do it. How can you kill God, bro? You can't kill God. Think about that.
Okay,
God
all I could say is
went to the cross, and he allowed them to kill him.
Even the Jews admit their sin. Today I'm talking about modern-day anti-God Jews admit that they killed him. Admit it, and in some cases brag about it. But we got a guilt-ridden white man here, David, who wants to pretend that that's not to be believed. They admit it. I've talked to Jews who said, yeah, we did it, so what?
Right, yeah.
And then I got to argue with you about who did it when they're admitting it.
I understand that. They love the fact that they hate Jesus so much, man, that they
so then
love
what's
to
your
say
problem
that they killed him.
Well, no. Let's stop right there. What's the problem?
Don't read the screen, kids.
All
Sorry,
right.
go ahead.
The problem is you don't understand that God laid his life down and that nobody.
No, I'm not. I agree with that.
Okay.
I'm wanting to show the audience and anybody interested who the culprits were. That's all.
Okay,
And if the culprits, go ahead.
So then what, man? What are you going to do? I mean, you're going to hold the people responsible for, what do you want to do about it, Mark? What do you want to do about them doing
Well, I
that?
can't.
What
There's
can
not
you do
much
about
I
it?
can do. There's nothing I can. And furthermore, since you did bring up the Holocaust, Hitler gave those people time to leave. Do you believe every lie about Hitler that the Jews have put out? Hitler was the most vilified man in history, except for Jesus, and both have the same enemies. Oh yeah, you could laugh, but it's the truth. He's the most vilified man in history, except for Jesus Christ.
I don't agree with that, man.
Well, of course you don't, because
Hitler.
you're not well read. You're not educated on this issue. You're a blind Zionist Christian, which means you're not a Christian. Do you call yourself a Zionist Christian?
No, I don't call myself a Zionist
good.
Christian.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, because Huckabee does, and you sound a lot like him in what you're saying.
I don't agree. I think they look like fools. Huckabee and the guy from Texas look like a joke. Okay,
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, if you're going to go to war with somebody, you sort of might want to know how many people there are in the country. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
He looked like an idiot. They both look like idiots. And
but they were singing off of your sheet. They were singing off of your sheet. They were saying the same garbage that you do. We have to defend the Jews. We have to defend Israel. Jesus wasn't killed by the Jews. That's the same trash that you're talking.
I never said we have to defend Israel, buddy. I've never said that.
You've always defended. Okay, Hake, is he for Israel or not? Let's you clear this up.
He's been I don't know if we should be giving money, but they are God's chosen people, and this is prophesied and stuff like that.
Yes.
Well, ask him if he believes in the Iran war.
Do I believe in the Iran war? No, I don't agree that we should get ourselves mixed up in this. But hey, listen, it doesn't matter what I think; it's what's going to happen. The Middle East is going to get worse, man. It ain't getting no better. Okay, you got me. So we should have finished the job when we went to Iraq. Okay, if you're going to go over there and you're going to do something, just go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't.
That's why I'm comforted that Trump is doing this, because if anybody is going to do war right, it's going to be Trump.
That's true. I would agree with that. Okay, but I'm concerned about the people over there, the innocent women and children, not the leaders. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like.
It's rough.
BB. I don't like none of them.
I really like BB, but he may be a rough and tumble man who doesn't mind warmongering.
I got a quick question for David. A quick question: do you think the wars in Iraq and Iran were fought for the state of Israel?
I'm starting to believe that they have manipulated our country into getting into conflict. Okay.
Well, there's
more
hope
than
for
I
you.
did
Yeah.
before.
There's hope. There's hope for you.
See, that's why it's good not to jump to conclusions and judge people too quickly and harshly.
Well, because it's called the war machine, man, and it's been going on since Korea. Okay, you got what I'm saying? Vietnam, Iraq 1 and 2. We have to use these weapons so they can build more weapons. Don't you get it?
No, I know about that, but Trump came in as being the no-war president. He wouldn't go to war, but the Jews under Bibi pressured him to do this. They pressured Trump to go after Iran.
He was pretty clear that he took a tough stance on Iran, even though he said he wouldn't start new wars. I grant Zenny, he did say that he would end them, and whoever else told me that, maybe David, some guy, or no, Brian. But in general, he was always clear that Iran can't have nukes. So he was saying both of those things, and I think in general he has ended wars and not begun new wars. But this is an exception. I don't see it as a lie or necessarily even a broken promise, because it's not like we didn't expect this. Even our future president didn't vote for him because he knew that he would go in and start a war with Iran.
Yeah, but I think Trump said that he's going to give it a measured period of time. I don't know how long.
Yeah, we'll see
But
how it ends.
Yeah, I'm for Trump, no matter what. I know he's under the control of the Jews, but being that as it is, I still think because of the border and immigration, he's still the best hope we have.
I don't think that he's under control of Jewish people. I think it's more that they are major players, and so they have influence in the world. And so, of course, he has to work with them. And Israel has been a major influence in America for a long time.
Yeah, 2% of the population.
Hey, can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, sir.
Mark probably knows this. Hey, I thought I read in the news that this Ayatollah that they killed, the Ayatollah,
yep.
that his son is taking over the deal. Is that true?
That is true. That's according to reports. Yep. This morning I heard.
So what's gonna change, man? Nothing's gonna change over there.
Trump might do him in too. I don't know.
Right. Trump said he's not going to accept that guy.
Yeah.
To be the president. So I'm against but for the record, I'm against the mullahs and Islam. I think it's a colored man's religion. I think it's a violent religion.
Yeah.
You can work with them on certain issues, like the Jewish question. You could work with the Muslims on that, but that's about it. We don't need them in our country. We don't want their religious beliefs to spread here. Let them take their own fight to the Jews. We don't. But we should also maybe.
But is it bad to work with Jews on the Muslim question too? Because the Muslims are gaining influence in America, and that may be even worse for America than the Jews already. Granted that Jewish influence brought Muslims here. I grant you that, but it's going to get from bad to worse, I feel.
Well, you and David should know that the Muslim problem here in America didn't start until 1948 when Israel was created as a state. We had a fairly good relationship with the Muslim world. I'm not talking about Muslims coming to the U.S. I'm talking about Muslims overseas.
Oh.
I think it was Teddy Roosevelt who warned not to let Islam enter our shores.
Yeah, the UN started Israel, right? According to what I read, the UN started Israel, and has the UN ever done anything good? And now the UN is turning on Israel. And so they started it, which may have been ill-advised, I don't know. And now they're turning on them, which is also, I think, ill-advised. I don't think the UN is any good.
Hey, the reason why they're turning on... I'm sorry. The reason why they're turning on them is because the Bible says the whole world's going to hate Israel. And it's manifesting itself. I mean, it's been ramped up since that October 7th thing.
Yeah.
And you can see the news media don't like them, Nobody likes the Jews no more, okay? And it's just going to get worse.
Well, I don't know if this has anything to do with biblical prophecy. I feel like it's just biblical prophecy prophesies about how evil human nature is, and evil human nature kind of repeats and echoes itself throughout history.
One other thing about the October 7th, before I forget, David should know.
And then
David
I gotta wrap up.
The IDF, the Israeli army, had a stand-down order on October 7th. They precipitated this attack, but they were willing to sacrifice some of their own people to get Trump to attack Iran and to go after the Muslims. The Israeli Defense Force knew of the attack and had a stand-down order. They allowed it to happen so they could use it as an excuse to attack Iran, much in the same way they used the Holocaust to put a guilt trip on white folk to get what they want. And that's my closing statement. And David, just do me a favor.
I wouldn't put it past them.
I don't know. Yep.
If I could ask David this, please, I'm going to take you at your word. Stop the gummies for 1 month, no drugs, no abusive drugs, and call Hake back and tell you how you feel in 30 days. I challenge you to do that. You can do it whenever you want. You don't have to do it today. You could start it whenever you want. I give you 30 days. And that monkey on your back is going to demand that you take more drugs. That monkey is Satan.
Yeah, it ain't no monkey on my back, bro. But I want to tell you this: I don't like Muslim. Okay,
I don't either.
Yeah. And if you really should go after them because they really want to kill us, and they want to.
Well, that's what the Jews
what
want
they
us
believe.
to do.
Hold up. What they believe about Jesus, okay, is so terrible that they are just wicked, evil, nasty, dirty people, man. Okay,
But they didn't kill
I
him,
I
right?
can't stand them.
Hey, they didn't kill him, though.
It don't matter.
David,
what
you're
they
supposed to love everybody.
Yeah, well, I don't. I'll be honest with you, man.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit racist, okay, in some ways, but
But
I'll admit it. I
Racist?
don't like
By racist, do
Orientals
you mean
and-
hateful or just plain, or just discriminatory? Because
Racially
discrimination is
proud.
not bad.
I
The
don't
hatred
hate,
is bad.
Okay, no. I don't hate them. I hate what they believe. I hate what they say about our Lord. Okay.
All they
Well,
say is
read
he
the
was a
Talmud.
prophet, right?
Read the Talmud and see what they say about Jesus.
I
know,
disclaim. I
but-
don't care
no,
about that.
I
The
know
Talmud.
about
La, la,
that.
la. I gotta go, guys.
All right, thank
All
you,
right.
guys. Hey, listen, can I say one last thing, Hake, please?
Yes.
I just want to say I'm going to echo Trump on this. I may not get to heaven. I may very well not get to heaven. I may go to hell. But I'm going to speak my mind and tell the truth as I know it. And again, anybody who wants to check the Almanac on the number of Jews before Hitler and the number of Jews after, tell me if there's 6 million missing. Okay, you guys, God bless you, and have a good day, David and Hake.
All right.
Take care, Mark.
Hey.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Let me just comment real quick about the heaven thing, and then I'll go. Look, you don't get to heaven on works, okay? You only get to heaven on believing that Christ died and rose from the dead to save you of your sins. So it don't. Mark, you should have more faith in what Jesus did on the cross, that you're definitely going to get to heaven. That's all I got to say. You should have more faith that you're gonna make it, and not say something like that. Because I know I'm going, okay? I know I'm going to heaven. I got no doubt about it. So I'll leave you with that, Hake. How's that?
All right, David. I appreciate it, sir.
Hey, have a great day. All right,
All right.
see you. Bye.
Bye. Jaime, Minnesota. How you doing, Jaime? Thank you for holding.
Hey, how's it going, Hake?
Going well.
Happy Monday.
Indeed. Beautiful Monday.
Yeah, a bunch of crazy Jew hate talk.
Yeah.
Again, Israel's the greatest ally we've ever had. I asked my rabbi, and that's what he said.
Well, right on.
So,
Are
Hey,
you
didn't you have
trolling,
a
or
caller?
are you
no,
saying?
no, I'm not trolling.
So they
Didn't you
are
have
our
a
great. But you don't have a rabbi, do you? I thought you were a Christian.
No, I don't have a rabbi.
Unless your rabbi is Jesus,
He is.
or the Holy Spirit, the rabbi within, the teacher within.
But didn't you have a caller call in and say that terrible thing that about Jesus that was in the Talmud was a discussion that two people had? That the Talmud isn't.
It's not endorsing that claim. It's just somebody claimed it and they disclaimed
It's
that claim.
Right. It's a recording of conversations between peoples, rabbis probably.
Okay.
And that was one of the talking points of somebody. Not necessarily that's what they believe. And then here comes Mark spreading this disinformation like a dummy, like he doesn't know what he's talking about, but talking about it. Kind of like the George Floyd thing, kind of like, how they say, he pointed a gun towards a pregnant woman or something.
Uh-huh.
And that never happened. It was a lie. But when you're a dummy and you spout off lies that other people who are smart know, you come off like a dummy. So, Mark, you're a dummy.
Dang.
That's kind of the main point. With the something that these Jew hater guys, they spout off about is that gas chamber thing and the wood doors.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking about that a while back ago, and it doesn't matter if those doors were, screen doors. It doesn't matter if those doors were chain link doors with openings in them. Okay? When you breathe those gases in, you're dying. You're dead. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if it wasn't.
Thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And you remember in Iraq, they had the military guys carry gas masks on them all the time
Yeah.
because they were afraid of getting gassed, and that was out in the open. All right, so if that stuff gets in your lungs, you're dying or you're dead. So this whole point about, what about the wooden doors? You got the German guys, they're so smart, and why would they put wooden doors? If you breathe it in, you're dying or you're dead. Doesn't matter if a little bit leaks out of the wooden doors.
The
So
AI,
it's such a dumb point.
The AI says, which AI may be false, of course, but it was wooden gas-tight doors, particularly in Auschwitz-Birkenau. Auschwitz-Birkenau. It was still airtight, gas-tight.
There you go.
They claim. So people are acting like it was just wood lattice or something.
and it doesn't matter if it was wood lattice.
Yeah.
It'd still kill people.
Yeah, terrible.
So I heard the Iranian foreign minister talking on NBC or one of those shows, but he had said something about what they asked him, what would you say to President Trump or no, to the Americans? What would you say to the Americans, because they're going to listen to you right now? And he said, this Iranian foreign minister guy said, it must be America first, not Israel first. And it made me think, was Iran paying people all that money, $8,000 to people to spout off anti-Jew stuff?
Interesting.
Was that what
question.
was happening?
Yeah.
Could Iran have been propagandizing America, and then people like Mark, just like a lemming, falls into it? You know what I mean?
It's quite possible, man. When people start to say the same thing, I get suspicious. And it's kind of, I don't know. They're definitely propagandists, those clever Muslims. Shout out.
They say they blame you for exactly what they're doing, And so they say, the Jewish people are trying to control America, or could they control America and all this and all that. What if it was the Iranians? What if it was all really the Muslims?
Well, I would submit to you that actually there are competing forces. Everybody wants to control everybody, and some are better at it than others. And I think that I think it's both. You know what I mean? Jelly bean?
Yeah.
But I really don't think that Trump is controlled. He is the least controlled person you've ever seen, besides Jesus, our brother.
I was thinking about that pallet of money Biden gave those old fools.
Obama, right?
And it was a principal of $500 million. And they gave them $1.7 billion.
Whoa.
The other $1.2 billion was interest.
Wow.
Are
you serious?
Wild? Yeah.
Now, info may be false, but according to Jaime, they got major pallets of cash, and like only 1%, or would that be 1% of it? No,
a third. That was a third.
A third of it?
Principal.
Was
$500 million was principal.
500 million.
And they got 1.6 billion.
Okay, a third of it was principal. We gave them triple. We gave them triple what we owed them because of inflation and, well, not inflation, adjusted for interest.
Yeah.
What a mess. And we were withholding it. We didn't have to give it to them. We were withholding it as part of a control type of a situation. And
because of that they kidnapped a bunch of Americans in their country in that, what do they call it? The embassy.
Was that under Reagan Carter times?
So they took that money, kind of like what they did with Russia over Ukraine. So that's wild. They didn't just give them their money back; they gave them interest.
Yeah.
This Obama guy, this dumb guy, why did he do that? You think that it was a pay-to-play kind of scheme?
I think it was
So, you
people
know,
pleasing. Obama, remember when Obama first got in there? Obama bowed to our enemies, or just bowed to leaders around the world with they called it an apology tour. Obama bowing to foreign leaders, like playing like he was look at this, bowing, even averting his eyes. You're not supposed to avert your eyes from your enemy. This guy could have drop kicked him or something. There he is bowing to these people. Look, embarrassing. So I think he was I think he was one of those, oh, let's all pretend like we're peaceful type stuff.
I think he was on the take.
Well, yeah, who knows?
I think he was in on it. But I was thinking also about Rachel Maddow. She
Beautiful,
got that
man.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loves, hating on Americans and men and that kind of stuff, and conservatives and that kind of thing. And I was listening to the way that she talks, and it reminded me a lot of this guy, Nicholas Fuentes.
Oh,
Kind of
that's
how
a
they
low
do
blow.
their same show.
Say again?
They do their show kind of the same, exactly the same. And I think it's just going to go the same way, too, because I feel like if this guy, our future president, ends up going for anything, he's just going to end up like Bernie Sanders. You know, his whole shtick is Bernie is it's the millionaires and the billionaires. Where this guy is going to be, it's all the Jews. And it's such a weak argument. It's getting weaker, too.
I consider him one of the more reasonable people in the world, honestly. But hey, you may have a point there. You know, I don't really pay too much attention to what he says. It's not that I don't think that he's smart. It's just that I don't really. It's kind of like when Trump makes statements. People overreact to every little thing Trump says, you know? Yeah.
I do like our future president's nationalism, though.
Yeah.
I like all that. But then when he gets onto that one little thing, and then it just kind of like, oh, man.
Fair enough.
I think that guys like ZENNY and Mark and Nicholas and Maddow Fuentes, their only hope is to go and kiss the wall.
It may do them some good, huh?
Yeah, so that they can really understand what's going on in this world. It's not what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They fell for the Muslim propaganda.
Yeah, the Jewish people are not the only evil people in the world, or even the only evil major influence. You know what I mean? Everybody has a role to play in the evil.
Well, cool. Well, I think I bashed everybody.
Nice.
Except for Canada. They'll get it maybe tomorrow.
Indeed they shall. Take care, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. ZENNY in Canada. ZENNY, how you doing, sir?
Speaking of.
Indeed.
Finally. Been on hold so long.
I know.
All right, Hake. Let's get into it. What was he just talking about? It's not just the Jews. So I know it's not just the Jews. It's people that also maybe are Christian Zionists, things like that, as well, who support the Jews. But the basic gripe that most people have, or I feel like the main gripe, is related to the Holocaust, and we're talking about denying it. I think we can agree that, you know, hoarding people up and killing them, or even just like depriving them of food or whatever, is bad and wrong, and people shouldn't do that. And I don't support that.
Yeah.
But it's this kind of myth that's been built around the Holocaust that it's like literally every white person's fault. Even though it was the America that seemingly freed them, so I don't even get how that works. How maybe if you want to blame all German people, but it seems like the blame has just been like spread to the entire white race.
It gets spread. It gets brought up anytime a white person criticizes them. or
it's not just when
something
white
like that.
people. It's not just when they get criticized. It's also when white people just try to have communities amongst themselves.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
when white people want to organize and
When they
maybe
want to be
even
white. Yeah.
if they want to be white, if they want to be white nationalists, or they want to be nationalists that are white and want a majority white country, which I think everyone that's called in would agree that they want. Like, I think even from David to Mark to me to Jaime or whatever his name is, I think we all want a majority white country. I think we all realize that that is better for everyone, really, even if there are like immigrants, which there would be. It's better for it to remain like predominantly majority white, and for the people that come here to respect that.
You know, I saw this thing from Claude, this AI named Claude, and I saw it quote tweeted, I believe, from Elon Musk, and I thought I liked it on my James Ant and Hake account. It was a while ago, but not too long ago, and it was basically a question. What is it called when, in one word, describe when a black person says black power? They call it empowerment, or something like that. And describe it in one word when a white person says white power: racism. And that was Claude, the liberal AI. And I wasn't able to find it offhand, but that's that propaganda from them too, in part because that's how they think and believe. They're brainwashed too, and that's partly why they're so sympathetic to the black Americans. Oh, here it is. I found it. I'll repost it. Elon Musk said, "Yep." Go ahead.
So you're saying that that's also Jewish influence, right? That type of mentality that is like that.
I mean, I think it's how they really think because of the the judgmental mama spirit type stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just basically kind of stops white people from being able to organize into groups, into nationalist groups, and to even have white countries. And it's come to the point where you literally can't have a white country because you know, America isn't a white country. Canada definitely ain't a white country. It's basically India. And, you know, and Europe is going the same way. Australia, New Zealand, they're all not allowed to be white nationalist countries because of the Holocaust.
You know what? Did H-Man, the guy in charge of Germany during that time, did he go too far?
Did he go too far?
Was he angry?
I don't know. I mean,
was he a little evil?
Yeah, I don't think he was like a saint or anything. I don't think anyone, and no one on earth is. But
the reason I bring that up is that there's been guys who've done. Glenn Miller, Glenn Cross was a white racist guy, so-called. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he went eventually and shot up some Christians actually outside of a synagogue. And then there's that guy who did the black church, the young man with the bowl cut who found out that the blacks are doing the raping and the black on white crime, not the other way around. And so every time a white does something, it's kind of like when blacks get themselves handled by police in a way they don't want to be handled. And every time the whites do lash out, they give the excuse for the government and foreigners and those people to clamp down on them because they react in the wrong way. So like the Holocaust, whether or not it's all true or whatever, just the fact that anything negative happened is used as an excuse. And people shouldn't be resentful. People should just not be controlled by anger, fear, false guilt.
Yeah, and that's what the Holocaust myth is.
Yeah.
Anger, fear, and false guilt, and it's perpetrated upon the Goyim, mostly the white man. But shout out. I wanted to get onto the Iran war as well.
Okay.
I want to read you what the late and great Charlie Kirk had to say about the Iran war. This is from April 3rd, 2025. It's from his Twitter. It's going unnoticed because so much other news is happening, but the war drums are beating again in D.C. The warmongers worry this is their last chance to get the white whale they've been chasing for 30 years, an all-out regime change war against Iran. A new Middle East war would be a catastrophic mistake. Our military stockpiles are depleted from 3 years of backing Ukraine. Our efforts to reshore manufacturing has only just begun and will take years to bear fruit. War would worsen our already immense deficit and national debt. Iran is larger than Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan combined. Wow, I didn't even really take that in. That's crazy. A war would not be easy and could easily become a calamity. Thanks to President Trump's restraint during his first term, America has a golden opportunity to pull away from Middle East quagmires for good. We shouldn't throw that opportunity away so that some D.C. has-beens can feel tough by sending young Americans to die yet again. And so April 3rd, 2025, was it 7 months later? Shot in the neck.
Rest in peace.
All our eyes. Rest in peace.
Do you think Charlie Kirk would be trusting Trump today if he were alive? Not that he's necessarily a real authority on whether we should trust Trump or not, but what do you think he would be saying today?
I'm not completely sure what he would be saying, but this is just what he said.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just saying this is what it said. This is what his opinion was. He also heavily questioned the response on October 7th. And, so he was becoming very critical, maybe not of Israel itself, but of the objectives of the Netanyahu government and their response on October 7th. So just saying that, just putting it out there into the old Ethernet,
Right.
And I think my main question for you was, if Trump decides to nuke Iran, would you support that? Would you still support him?
Only because it were Trump.
That's crazy, man. that's absolutely wild that Trump could nuke like if he nuked Tehran, that people would that's like the equivalent of him saying, I could walk down to some street in New York and just shoot someone and no one would say anything.
Right.
You guys are those people. Like anyone who would be for Trump if he decides to nuke Tehran is absolutely, you guys are lost. Crazy.
But don't you think that humanity. Trump? But so far, Trump has been quite measured, and when he hits, he hits hard. I grant you that. And I was looking at the war footage, the aftermath of these bombings and things in Iran and Israel, and that looks terrible. I don't like that. I don't like to see that. But still, in general, Trump has been quite measured and forceful when he needed to be, restrained when he needed to be. So basically, I just trust his judgment and but with the caveat that it may not actually be right, sometimes.
Yeah, well, that makes one of us because, I don't think he's being very measured. I don't think he should have gone in the first place. And also now we it's being broken for that USA is the one that hit that school and killed all those children, those schoolgirls.
I heard that school, and I don't know, may have been right near a military base. Not that it justifies it, but they claimed that they didn't know and they wouldn't do that if they knew. But it's interesting.
Well, it was hit twice.
Why was it hit twice?
It was hit once, and then it was hit 40 minutes after, by a Tomahawk missile, the ones that only the U.S. owns.
They didn't see the posts on X. They didn't see the posts on X saying, "Hey, that's a girl at school."
Yeah, no, I mean,
no, hey,
I don't know.
But people don't.
The Mossad should have told them, right? They got the
best
what?
Intelligence. X.
Maybe they did. Maybe Mossad told them that it was. Oh yeah, that's the one. Get him there. Yeah, Mossad.
You don't think
Mossad intelligence?
I tend to think that both Israel and America don't tend to want to get civilians because they know that's bad propaganda. Also because it's kind of inhumane. And Israel and
I don't
America
think Israel cares about that. I don't think Israel cares about that anymore. And the U.S. doesn't either, judging by their support of what happened in Palestine.
Do you think that they bombed? Do you think that?
Care.
Okay, so let me finish my statement about this girls' school.
Sure.
It's a girls' school, you said, according to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this school, I saw on X, a post on X from actually Michael Tracy. He reposted some guy who said, oh man. Okay, well, anyway, let me just explain. There are schools for children of military people. And these schools are on military bases. So if you bomb a military base, you're bombing kids. And that can be a bad thing, or that can be just how the ball bounces. And
I think it's more of a bad thing than just how the ball bounces, but yeah.
But is
Whatever.
bombing adult soldiers a bad thing?
No, I mean, well, in war, that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to keep it to try and keep it to that as much as you can.
But if it's a military base and they have their kids there, and you're bombing a military base though, but it has a school right there.
It's still horrible. Like
I agree, it's horrible. But do you blame?
160.
Can you blame them?
Yeah, I can.
You can, but I think that it's Does it make it more understandable?
They shouldn't be there in the first place. That's the basic fact.
Oh, they shouldn't be bombing in the first place.
They shouldn't be there. It's gonna be horrible. And also another thing that they did, which is
but you don't think that bombing them now is preventing a need to bomb them later?
Nope. No, I don't.
You don't think Iran would develop a nuclear weapon and bomb the Hake out of us?
Bomb the Hake out of us? I mean, didn't we just bomb their nuclear facilities like a month ago? And they said we totally decimated, put it decades behind. Then like a couple
Trump
months
may have been
like,
saying tall tales about that because everybody else was saying, well, he didn't actually do that much damage. So I don't know what the truth is about that situation, but we're definitely decimating him now. But what do you think? Do you think that Iran was working on nuclear weapons, and would they use them against us?
I think they'd be stupid not to be working on nuclear weapons. Look what happens when you don't have them.
Right, and so wouldn't we be stupid not to bomb the Hake out of them, given that they would do that?
No, because they needed to be in the Middle East as an equalizer for Israel. Because when Israel takes over,
but there is no equalizing. There's always a fight for winning, being greater than.
Yeah, but they balance each other though. Iran was a balance to Israel's power.
Well,
now that it's been toppled or is about to be toppled, then when it is toppled, then Israel can just take over basically the entire Middle East with their greater Israel.
I disagree with you. I respectfully disagree with you on this balance of power argument, sir. And the reason I just respectfully disagree is that a balance of power is Russia and China and the USA. It's kind of a balance of power, but it's a peaceful somewhat thing, supposedly. I don't know. In that we're not killing each other, although there's maybe proxy wars going on.
Yeah, there's proxy wars. Yeah,
so I don't agree with your I see, Ukraine. That's not a balance of power. That's killing. That's war. That's not good.
Yeah, but America balances Russia, and I guess China and Russia balance America. And then because they all have nukes, so they know if one nukes the other, then it's a mutual destruction. Right. So it would be the same thing in Israel, right? It would be like, okay, well, if you nuke me, then I'm going to nuke you. And I guess the argument would be that like, the Ayatollahs, they're like a theocracy and they're like can't be trusted. We can't trust the Israelis either, man. They literally have 200 nukes, and they don't let the IAEA or whatever the body that checks. They're not even signed up to any of the agreements.
Oh yeah, officially we don't know if they have nukes or not, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Right. But everyone knows that they do. Well, so they're operating in a secretive way.
I don't know.
And we just think, just because they have our backs, which they really don't at the end of the day. Here, imagine this, Hake.
Let me tell you something though, man, about this whole balance of power thing. I question this notion. If America had all the power, then what would be so bad about that?
Well, I mean,
why do you need something to balance that?
Well, that's why they want a one world government, right? So that we can never fight against it. We'll have to do everything they say.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a one world government unless it was Trump running it, because Trump is a benevolent man. All these other people are not trustworthy.
That's wild.
Don't you?
There's one other.
Doesn't that make you validate your question? My question about the balance of power thing, because that's not a balance.
No.
They're killing each other. That's crazy.
But that still balances it though, because now there's going to be Israel just going to take over the whole Middle East.
And what's wrong with that if they did?
Can I paint a picture to you? Hey, maybe this is going to happen. I don't know. Maybe not.
Because I don't.
So
not really.
We get into the.
Go ahead.
What? Yeah, we get into this long, protracted war with Iran. Maybe we put boots on the ground, and it's a mountainous region. It's, as they said, 3 times bigger than Iraq, of which we lost that war. Afghanistan lost that war. So I don't think you guys are going to win that war, right? So you're going to go this long, protracted quagmire. You're going to spend billions every day. You're going to empty your stockpiles. You're going to empty your stockpiles of all your missiles and stuff like that. And then right when you guys are at your weakest point and you leave Iran without winning, China's going to attack America. China's going to attack America when you guys are at your weakest, and they'd be stupid not to, honestly. At this point, seeing what you guys are doing around the world.
But there's Chinese here. Why would they do that? Because there's many Chinese.
They don't care about them. They don't care. They're probably spies. Anyways, but so they're gonna start bombing you guys or whatever, or when you're at your weakest after all this long protracted quagmire, and Israel's gonna take over all your bases in the Middle East, and they're gonna become Greater Israel, and they're not even gonna come help you guys.
Well, Zenny, you would be a wiser leader than our greatest president.
If I predicted that right down, if that happens in 10 years, y'all know.
Interesting, sir. All right, I got to run.
All right, brother. See you.
All right, bye. Jeff, Louisiana, on the line here. Jeff, thank you for calling and holding, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, man, did you see anything about Jesse Jackson's funeral this weekend?
I did, actually. This morning I was looking on CNN's website, and I saw clips from the funeral. Yes, I did.
Did you see what his son said before and after?
I saw a little bit of what Jesse Jackson Jr. said.
His son asked before the funeral, said, leave your politics at home.
Oh.
Don't come here preaching. Then Obama had a 28 or 29-minute speech about politics, basically.
Really?
And after the funeral, Jesse Jackson's son said, we had 3 presidents speak at the funeral that didn't know Jesse Jackson.
Wow. Really? Jesse Jackson Jr. said that?
Yeah. And he said, I don't like the current president in office, but he was wrong. Jesse Jackson left a mark on the world. Something positive about Jesse Jackson, but just a point, his son came out and said that Obama, Clinton, and Biden didn't know Jesse Jackson.
Wow. Because Obama, Clinton, and Biden, Bill Clinton, that is, they all said negative things about Trump at the funeral?
Yeah, just ran politics into it.
Yeah. What a mess. Yeah, I did see a clip of Kamala Harris saying, I hate to say I told you so, but I predicted this would be happening. Just talk about whatever Trump is doing that's supposedly bad or something. And I didn't really necessarily see, Obama was being his usual lame self. Really? So you're saying that Jesse Jackson Jr., he stood by Trump even though he disagreed with him because Trump was always classy and nice to Jesse Jackson Sr.
Yeah, well, one of his sons, I don't know if it's Junior or which one, but one with glasses.
Okay. I think that might have been Junior. I should look into this, sir. I didn't see that because I only saw the clips that CNN promoted, which were really unremarkable, honestly. Huh.
Okay, man, one more thing real quick and I get off here. This is not directed at Martin in any way, but he says that Trump is controlled by the Jews.
Uh-huh.
Now, go back and think about this way, or the same about this perspective. What has Trump done that when he cut off Venezuelan oil to China, that decreased their oil supply? China had loaned Venezuela $100 billion, and that was to be repaid in oil. So now they're $100 billion in debt off of that. because Venezuela's not repaying with oil now. Iran is cutting off oil supply to China with the strait I was talking about last week. And all these airstrikes are doing, they have Chinese provided anti-aircraft artillery to try to shoot us down. And we're showing how weak China is in their military by just going and blame blasting everybody. So the whole point of this thing is, I believe, is Trump trying to show how weak China is and destroying their economy. In the process, he's just getting rid of dictators and all this sort of stuff.
Wow. So this Iran war that Trump is doing is exposing China's weakness? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and it started in Venezuela.
Yeah.
With the oil.
Right.
And then
China was there. There were Chinese people, emissaries or whatever. I don't know how you say it. Over there that night.
Yeah, but that's what my point is. It's weakening China, who's supposed to be the superpower. Like the last guy I was talking about, he said they're trying to take over us in 10 years. He may be right, but Trump's trying to weaken them.
Yeah.
And he's weakening them.
Oil. Yeah, that's true. Good point.
And $100 billion to not get back from Venezuela.
That's true. That is so true because China use both Venezuela and Iran for power, so it is weakening China.
Yeah,
interesting. It may be the opposite of what ZENNY is, or the reverse of what ZENNY is claiming, huh?
Yeah, and like I said, it's not necessarily. And Trump said, what was it? I think it was last week, or I seen a clip of him saying that Iran, that deal come out where they had a guy in the U.S. that's from Iran that claimed that Iran had put out a hit on Trump, and it was pretty much about the Butler guy that shot Trump.
Okay.
Saying it was just like that, what they planned. And Trump come out last week and said Iran had targeted him, but he got them first.
Huh. Wow. Yeah.
So, see, it's not just about the Jews in Israel.
Right. That's true. There's a lot more major players involved.
Yeah, people just don't jump to that. There's a lot more into this if you just... I don't research as much as Mark and other people claim to.
Right.
I just watch little stuff and you put it together.
Yeah.
Man, but that's all I had, man. Just have a good day.
You as well. Take care. Jeff in Louisiana. All right, y'all. I do want to get to more of your calls as well as your super chats. Real quick, let me just read this. The eldest son of Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. took a swipe at former Democrat presidents who paid tribute to his father during a memorial service on Friday, according to reporting by Khalida Rahman. Article headline, Jesse Jackson Jr. takes a swipe at Biden and Obama, per Newsweek, after the memorial service. Reporting March 9th, which is today, Monday. I listened to several hours to 3 United States presidents who do not know Jesse Jackson. As Jeff in Louisiana, a reliable source apparently, did indeed say, quote him as saying, the late Reverend's eldest son and former congressman, seeking to win back his seat in Congress in this fall's midterm elections, said on Saturday at Jackson's final memorial service at the Rainbow Push Coalition's headquarters in south side of Chicago. He maintained a tense relationship with the political order, not because the presidents were white or black, but the demands of our message, the demands of speaking for the least of these, who are disinherited, the damned, the dispossessed, the disrespected, him and his alliteration, demanding not Democratic or Republican solutions, but maintained a consistent prophetic voice that at no point in time sold us out as a people. Black talk. I wonder if it had any... There he is. Talking in it. Oh, Lord. Look at this. Hey, look, there's Al Sharpton, too. Oh, skinny. He used to be fat. Look at that face. That's Jesse Jackson Jr. The context. Jackson died last month, age 84, after battling a rare neurological disorder worse than Parkinson's. At first, they thought it was Parkinson's, I think for several years. Affected his mobility and ability to speak. He already was a sort of a stutterer or something. I forget what. So a civil rights leader, so-called, and 2 presidents of African nations said the best way to honor his legacy was to continue his advocacy for human rights, universal, and economic justice. Obama, Biden, and Bill Clinton spoke at a larger celebration honoring him, quote unquote. He asked for attendees to focus on Jackson's legacy and do not bring your politics. So Obama said Jackson's presidential run in the 80s set the stage for other so-called black leaders and his own in 2008 and re-election 2012. A legacy of hope. Took aim at Donald Trump without mentioning him by name. Each day we're told those in high office to fear each other and turn on each other. Like Trump is doing that. That's what Obama did, honestly, was tell him to fear and turn on the cops, for example. Biden said, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Okay, thank you, sir. It's sort of interested. It's not clearly laid out. Why is this not closing? I'm such a boomer. Let me read your super chats, okay? At this point, just call me Mike. Bought a coffee. Oh, no. Lower. It's fine. I know you were waiting for my call. Friday, since I'm always right, but I got a busy schedule. Now I want you to tell me I was right, and that goes for William III too. I will not call to talk about the war yet. My X algorithm has changed, preventing me from getting daily updates. I asked Grok, but it's always the same bogus speech. He didn't say bogus speech. Shout out to Alan. He's my personal favorite. Truth is the first casualty of war. Thank you for the coffee there, Mike. Based America First is Karen Bass, recently called Trump for help with 2 coffees, he says. Or he says it with 2 coffees. She didn't call with 2 coffees for Trump. To help with Palisades recovery. She was surprised he called her back and said he would help because Karen expected him to be too busy. Trump told her to approve building permits 14 months ago. Yeah, I remember that. Speculating it was a media stunt to make Karen appear like she was doing something when Spencer Pratt is campaigning against her many failures. Oh. So I believe that Base America First is speculating it was a media stunt to make herself look like she's doing something when this guy is campaigning against her for her many failures. Spencer Pratt is a guy apparently running against her for L.A. mayor. The Santa Ynez Reservoir that was out of service during the Palisades fire had emergency repairs made to its cover, but will again be shut down for 9 months because the patches failed and it needs a new cover. Why didn't it get a new cover during its emergency operations over the last year? What a mess. Base America First knows more about what's going on in L.A. than Hake. Right on. Shout out. And over on YouTube, Birdie Bound Brian, 6517, says gas masks don't prevent. They prolong. Aha. Interesting. And that has to do with, the mess going on. Here, let me, I feel like there might have been another one. Or am I confused? No, we're all clear. Thank you guys for the support. As always, very kind. I'm pretty well sure that I'm caught up on Rumble. I want to get to William. Somebody shouted out William. The third out of California. William the third, thank you for calling and holding, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, man, how you doing? Shout out to Michael.
Hey, doing well.
Yeah, what did he say?
He said, let me go back. That goes for William III, too. Okay, so he wants both me and you, William III, to tell Michael from Canada that he was right. About what?
You know, Mike,
I'm not sure.
I like Mike a lot. But these guys got limited information. You know, I didn't say too much about what's going on out there in Iran. I just want to give it a week, at least get the news and see what's the assessment here.
Yeah, it's only been 1 week and 1 day, basically.
So it's been only the week mark now, and so I just wanted to check it out first. And the update is that they had positioned and were in the process of preparing a dozen or so ballistics long range, and they didn't take the chance whether or not it was a nuke or not, because they knew that they've been swinging for the fences. They're getting kind of desperate, so they were in the preparing stages with a bunch of ballistic missiles, and that's when the United States. Do you hear what I said? The United States. That is the United States. The United States made the call, and Israel, and they put hundreds of bombers and fighters in the air and covered it. And that's the way it goes.
Indeed.
And 50 minutes into the so-called war, this is basically a conflict is what this is. This is an operation. It's not a war, not a long, dragged-out war. Within 50 minutes, he knocked out 57 of the top leaders, including the main guy, dead. Then they came with the B team 2 days later, and Trump killed them too. Now his son is named the supreme leader, and I'm thinking he's going to kill him too, because he said Friday, I want unconditional surrender. And the United States is going to make the new person to run their country. And it's very important because this is where Michael and Zenny don't know what they're talking about. One, they ain't going nowhere. Those are not soldiers up there in Canada. Surely not for here. So I don't know who we is. But you're not going to war because they ain't even a draft. And this is just a conflict. And they've actually been to war. They've been at war with us without us doing anything to them since 1977. And they hung people, lynching for 20 years. And so when they put those ballistic missiles and pointed them and was getting them ready, they just, the rest is what happened. Ships, everything, bottom of the ocean. And so this is playing a role with China and Russia because of the Hormuz Strait.
Strait, yeah. Yeah, I've heard
so
about
Trump
that
is
thing.
Controlling that, along with Venezuela, along with maybe going after Cuba and taking that too, plus Greenland. And this is all strategic. And a lot of I don't know how you think Nick Fuentes would handle this. Not good.
Say again?
Kamala Harris, not good. Nick Fuentes, how would he handle this?
Oh.
Not good. Not good.
Well, I mean, he's not even.
He's
not even considering being a leader
Kamala,
yet.
What about Kamala and Joe Biden and the prices on the
disaster?
Gas, every time you have a conflict, it does hike just a little, but nothing like the Biden administration with the electric car scam. So we're not at war; it's really a conflict, or maybe an operation. And they took out their prize ship. It's at the bottom of the ocean, and the Hormuz Strait is playing a role with China and Russia. And we just might go ahead and just take it. They've been in war with us. We haven't been in war with them. So like Trump said, you haven't got hit the hardest, and we want unconditional surrender.
Yeah.
That would be kind of nice if he'd get on the deck of a capital ship like they did in World War II with MacArthur. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be interesting.
We do what we got to do. And I'm not a soldier, so they're out there doing it. They're responsible for what goes on over there. I can't make that call. I'm not going to war. but I'm sure they're going to take care of business.
Interesting, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Karen Bass is choking you guys' economy to death with that $20 an hour, $30 an hour minimum wage. Didn't we? Did you get the memo?
I hadn't heard about that one
Raise
either.
that stuff. If she's missed something with the minimum wage. If you raise that stuff too high, you're going to have unemployment. Los Angeles.
Not good.
Mm-mm. No, Zenny, you're definitely not going to war. Okay? You're soft. But Mike, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got nothing to worry about, Mike.
Right on.
Right on.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Take care. I'm looking at footage. The Wikipedia article. There's coming 16 days before his assassination, 12th of February. He looks white, right? But I heard that he's, what are those people who were fighting with the Armenians? Azerbaijani or something like that. I don't know. I wanted to scroll down on this Wikipedia page. I know that they're liberal, whatever. I just like how they summarize things, though. It's kind of a nice summary, even if it's incomplete, it has a bias or whatever. I want to see the casualties. 9 military personnel killed, according to Wikipedia. I thought that it was 6 or 7, but they say 9 killed or dead. Okay. 20 injured. And Israeli, 2 soldiers killed, 16 civilians killed, 11 missing, 2,142 injured, 14 military personnel injured. Kurdistan, 2 civilians killed, 1 security guard killed, 4 injured, 2 fighters killed. So Kurdistan, I guess, is helping us or something? Per Iran claims 650 U.S. soldiers killed or wounded, unverified. Oh, Lord. The propaganda, As quoted by Michael of Canada, quoted by Alan, truth is the first casualty of war. You don't know what's really going on. All right, let me get to Rick, I think, out of Hampton, VA, and then I'll get to this popcorn and Cesar and other stuff. Okay, all right, if you don't mind. Rick, out of Hampton, VA. How you doing, sir?
Man, my brother James, what's going on the Hake report, man? How was your weekend?
It was nice. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Man, I tell you, man, can you hear me good there, James?
It's kind of hit and miss. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm always very lenient with you because I know you're at work.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much, James. But I want to comment on, man, dang, it was something very important that you just mentioned, man. But anyhow, I'm going to hit on something real quick. I was heard on social media. I get so sick of black people talking about this land is stolen. The truth be told, Hake, all the land in the world is stolen. As long as you got war and evil, it's going to be stolen land everywhere.
Yeah, and stolen is not even accurate in reality.
Right. I mean, he even said the military, how can you join the military? And I went in and I said, I have proudly served in the United States Navy for 20 years. I have no regret at all. If it wasn't for the Navy, you couldn't have a business. The military, you couldn't have a business. We protect your family. It wouldn't be free trade wasn't for the military. It wouldn't be freedom of speech, freedom of religion wasn't for the military. When people on the military go on deployments, they are sacrificing, leaving their families behind for months, maybe even years. And I said, and I told him at the end, you are welcome for our services. That's what I told him, man. And I said, and I always ask them, you want to go to Africa? That's stolen land, because right now, those Africa has more dictators than any continent in the world. And a dictator, and the only thing they do is take all the resources and steal all the money and oppress the people. And Africa, some parts in Africa still have slavery. So I told them, name a better place that's better than the U.S. of A. I'm not saying the U.S. is perfect, but I wouldn't want to be in no other place but the U.S. because it allows me, if I want to serve Christ, I can serve Christ. If I want to be rich, I can be rich. If I want to be poor, I can be poor if I want to.
Right.
What culture that you have it free like that?
Nowhere. Well, I don't know. I feel like there must be places like that. But yeah, we got it.
Even if you have Canada is so expensive.
Right.
You know, you have now Australia is nice. They have a capitalist economy, and it's expensive out there. Japan has a capitalist economy, and it's expensive there for sure. But it's opportunity. It's up to you when I'm talking about Europe. Most of those countries have capitalist economies, but every country that's ran by black or brown people have a socialist economy.
Wow.
And they people are struggling in poverty, and the only main industry they have is tourism. Thank God for folks that takes vacations. They probably wouldn't have anything.
Yeah.
You know, or even go to Mexico, where the drug cartels run everything, and the government is so corrupt.
Yeah.
And then even in Mexico, they'll kidnap you off the streets and put you in the drug fields, the marijuana fields, help produce heroin.
If they let you live.
Exactly. So, you know, they can't tell me anything, man. They really can't.
Yeah. It's very dysfunctional in those countries. It's not good.
Right, man. It is something, man. And Brother Mark was hitting on all the cylinders today, man. I like Brother Mark. A lot of people may not like that he's truthful, but for the most part, I agree with what he be saying.
Nice. Right on, Rick.
You know, it's like he was talking to what was it called, David?
Yep.
And he was telling him, if you can go 30 days without taking any gummies, you'll break the habit. Because most times they tell you it takes 30 days to break a habit, what they say.
Interesting.
So if you can go 30 days.
I heard it's 3 weeks.
30 days.
I heard 3 weeks to break a habit. But 30 days would be get it good and buried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I never heard anything less than 30.
Okay.
But, you know, it's like what Mark said. If you can't do 30 days, it's a monkey on your back.
Yeah.
I tell you, drugs are some of the hardest monkeys to kick off your back, man.
I've heard.
I mean, it's like marijuana, the gummies. You know, when they say they're going to use marijuana for medical purposes, I knew that wasn't going to be true because once they get it for medical purposes, they wind up using it for recreational, using it more than what they're supposed to use it. So it creates an addiction.
You know, man, I have this conspiracy theory about how during the 80s, 70s, maybe 80s and early 90s, we had this crack epidemic. Murders went through the roof. I have this conspiracy theory that they expanded the having sex and pornography and stuff like that in order to calm the guys down, because I heard that that when you are not participating in that stuff, you are angrier and more you have more of your energy and life in you. And anyway, whatever. That's my theory, that they're turning and then also when you overly participate in that stuff, you turn like effeminate. Right. You turn effeminate and weak-kneed and subject to women. And so that's my conspiracy theory, that they turned us all effeminate and stuff in all these different ways.
You know, I hate to see a weak man, Brother James.
Yeah.
I can't stand to see a weak man. Especially, I can see women being weak because they are the weaker vessel. When I see men weak and emotional, it really disturbs me, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get angry, but I just hate to see it. and we're the ones that keep society going.
Yeah.
You hear the feminist movement saying men this, men that. Men built this world. You're not gonna find no women construction workers on the road. It's like this. If you got something going on, if you got possibly a burglary in progress, would you rather for 4 strong men to show up as police officers or 4 women? You tell me.
Yeah, I think the question answers itself.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just telling you, we're stronger, you know.
Right.
And I'm not saying women don't have no brains. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying women like comfort. That's why most times women like administrative jobs, office jobs. You see what I'm saying there, Brother James?
Yep.
And they like comfort. And we built this world to help them have comfort.
Yeah.
If they can give us that much credit. You know, we built this world. As a matter of fact, about time, if all the women, if all the men if Thanos just snapped his fingers and made every man disappear, about time women would catch up on operating the sewage plants, the infrastructure. It would take years for them to catch it and run it.
Yeah. Rick, I got to run. It's good talking with you, sir.
Oh, can I speak for one quick thing, Brother James?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and to let you know that the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, my time Biden, and Kamala Uganda Nightmare, how you want them as leaders? They came in following simple instructions not to talk politics at the funeral, and they're going to do it anyway.
Wow.
That's what you want them as leaders.
The disrespect. Terrible.
Yeah. And even though Jesse Jackson, I call him a hustler because anytime I call him shaking an apple tree. You know, like when somebody complain about they've been discriminated.
Yep.
They tell him to go back to work, and Jesse Jackson gets the money. Wow. I never heard of the guy like the one that filed the claim. I never heard him getting no money from the case. They just tell him to go back to work. I could be wrong on that, but for the most part, Jesse Jackson and his organization gets the money, and he'll tell the guy that filed the claim to go back to work.
Interesting. Thank you, Rick.
Well, thanks for taking my call, James. Love you guys, man. Keep pushing the truth.
Sounds
the Hake
good.
Report. La, la, la. Talk to y'all later. I'll call tomorrow. Love y'all. Be blessed.
You as well. Bye. Super chats, y'all. buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. Cesar or Cesar. 3 coffee sub. Hake, I disclaim this message below. Says Cesar or Cesar. He himself does not represent himself. I'm not calling myself a believer or denier of what I'm going to say next, but I want to speculate and ask a question. So Mark brought it up. It's going to say the same thing. The earliest newspaper report that mentioned their population, the J population, the 6 number, was reported in 1889 by the New York Times. There were many more articles mentioning that same number years later, 1900s, 1939, always using the forbidden number, the 6 million number. Is that what you mean by that? So how is it the same number was used during World War II? You mean to tell me they never increased their population for over 40 years? See you later, guys. Strong arm, okay sign, thumbs up. P.S. I sent you the actual New York Times article on X, which was provided to me by Grok. I didn't send it to you to show on stream, just for your records. Thank you, sir. I've seen little things like that, like it's a special number for them or something like that. It's symbolic on some level. I can't say. Cesar and popcorn. I'll lump these coffees together so I don't have to stop so much. Popcorn says, nobody's going to do war better than the anti-war, no new wars president. Did I hear that right? Hey, could you unpack that a little bit? Sure, I can, Popcorn. Being against the war doesn't mean you're turning on him. I know the Great White Hope said Iran's nuke capability was obliterated to the Stone Age with the strikes a while back. So what's going on here? Please answer. Cringe hearing Hake talk about the bombing of the school. If you want to make an omelet, you got to crack a few eggs, right? Oof. This blind, if Trump is doing it, I'm for it, is wild, says Popcorn. Okay, so let's go to the first question. Everything Trump does is with great power, competence, and confidence. It's decisive when he does it. So And he is an anti-war peace. He's a man of peace in general. He wants peace. He understands that peace is better for civilization than war. Whereas these other people are for war and crime and a lack of peace. And that's why Trump has brought down the crime in all these major cities the best he can, which I've heard that he was quite successful at even that. Murder rates going down here in America. So if I trust anybody to go to war and do it in the right way, it's Trump. Okay, so hopefully that's explained. Being against the war is not turning on him, right? But there are people who are turning on him, saying that he's controlled and stuff like that. And actually, Mark, to his credit, says that he is controlled, but he's not turning on him. Maybe he's just exaggerating when he says that he's controlled. Or maybe he really thinks that he's controlled, but he still appreciates him. Okay, so Iran's nuke capability was obliterated to the Stone Age. Maybe Trump was exaggerating, or maybe it was, but there's other stuff going on. They have the ballistic capability, and they're still working on it. So, yeah. Now, I didn't justify the bombing of the school. I just said that I heard that the school was right next to, or in the midst of, or part of that base, according to what I saw. And are you for bombing a base? A military base? Is it a just thing to bomb a military base in the midst of war? If you want to use the term just in terms of a war. Can you bomb a base? Can an enemy bomb your base? I heard that they didn't know that it was the school. And whether it happened 40 minutes later, again, doesn't mean that they knew that there was a school before or after or during. So, whatever. Somebody made the claim that Iran actually was the one who bombed the school. Have no idea. And, okay, so when I said that if Trump were to nuke Tehran, I would be for it because it was Trump doing it, is basically a statement that I trust Trump, or I'm not going to condemn him if I don't know what the truth is. We'll say that. Wait, Hake is actually based. Based? He's heard about them worshiping the number? Nice one, bud, says Everblazer. Yeah, what a mess. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, no, I wouldn't necessarily be for him nuking it. And I don't think that he would. But he might. But I don't think that he would. But I don't even think he's brought that up. Now, he said that he hasn't ruled out boots on the ground, whereas politicians have ruled out boots on the ground, putting military soldiers in there. He put military soldiers in harm's way in Venezuela, and one of them got his legs messed up. He was honored at the State of the Union in order to grab Maduro. He got shot up bad. He was using a walker at the State of the Union. So Trump has had to take some crazy actions. And so I don't know. I can't say that I'm for or against, really, because I don't know the situation. Yeah, okay, so we are having some audio here. I'm starting to have to wrap up a little bit, y'all. I did have one more little item here. Oh, here, let me not show that yet. Let's see. Joe says, what's Rockwell's first name? Everything Mark said is correct. It's a bad war. Gas went up. Let me just pull it over here so I can read it. Gas went up 53 cents in just a week. Iran's been 10 minutes from a nuclear bomb since 1991. That doesn't mean that they're not a nuclear threat just because we've been saying it forever, It's kind of like we've been complaining about communism creeping in. We've been complaining about it for 100 years. Where's the communism? Well, you're swimming in it. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So anyway, y'all, I got to get out of here. American Anchor Baby is scheduled to be up next, y'all. So catch him, and peace in the Middle East, or at least in y'all's hearts. Adios, America. Take care. Bye.